The war on crypto continues to rage on, and in this video, we are going to be addressing something crazy happening around the IRS, which is putting a big spotlight back on the big topic, going all the way back to 2023, which was Operation Chokepoint 2.0. And we have a lot to talk about in this video, so with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. Let's dive on in. Let's not waste any time because I do have to address this. DeFi. DeFi is one of the biggest pieces of this space, having over $147 billion just tied to the DeFi tokens alone. Over $10 billion worth of trading volume on the 24-hour span. Some of these are the largest projects out there in the space, and it doesn't even include every single DeFi project. I mean, even if we really think about it, Ethereum is one of the biggest DeFi projects that's not even listed on here. If we go over here to DeFi Llama, for an example, you know, there's over $220 billion in total value locked, $205 billion worth of stablecoins around the DeFi space, $10.5 billion worth of trading volume in the last 24 hours, and over $106 billion in terms of total funding amount. But if we actually look at the top DeFi chains, Ethereum has over 1,264 DeFi protocols tied to it, $140 billion worth of TVL. So if we're really thinking about how big the DeFi market is, it's massive. It's the biggest piece of this entire space, and everyone loves DeFi. Why? Well, decentralized finance allows us to be our own bank. It allows us to make passive income. It allows us to essentially be financially free. And I do think that it's kind of leading us down that path. But the problem right now is we are seeing a large portion of this market being attacked. And DeFi, well, it's on the cutting block, right? This is not a joke. This is not like, oh, you know, it's clickbait, it's this, that. No, this is a serious issue. If we look at Uniswap and even SushiSwap, these are two of the largest DEX projects in the spaces, decentralized exchanges. Now, we know 1inch, we know of, you know, PancakeSwap as well. There's a lot of great DEX tokens out there. We could even go to Solana, for an example, and mention, you know, Juniper and Radium as well. But Uniswap and SushiSwap have been around forever now. Uniswap was one of the biggest projects back in 2020 and 2021. There was an airdrop actually around Uni that amounted to like $25,000 worth of free, you know, airdrop tokens, which is insane. But if we look at this thing, Uniswap is still very large today. Maybe not as big as it was back in 2021 with, you know, how much hype there was, but it is still one of the biggest projects in this space. SushiSwap kind of died down, but that's because it has been getting attacked for well over 2 years now, which we will address. And even talking about that, let's actually just get into it, right? Back in 2023, and I reported on this, decentralized finance exchange SushiSwap and its CEO, Jared Gray, were served a subpoena by the SEC last week, part of a regulatory crackdown on crypto that has left the DEX's CEO no longer inspired. Now, mind you, this is back in March of 2023. What was happening? Well, bank collapses were happening, but guess what? It wasn't just traditional banks. No, it was pro-crypto banks that were basically forced to shut down. They had no choice but to shut down. And that's when we started to see the debanking of crypto happening in the US as well. But why decentralized finance? Why was DeFi being targeted? Well, we know that DeFi is still being targeted. Here we have back in April, actually, of this year. This is from Hayden Adams, the CEO of Uniswap. Today, Uniswap Labs received a Wells notice from the SEC. I'm not surprised, just annoyed, disappointed, and ready to fight. I'm confident that the products we offered are legal and that our work is on the right side of history. But it's been clear for a while that rather than working to create clear, informed rules, the SEC has decided to focus on attacking long-time good actors like Uniswap and Coinbase, all while letting bad actors like FTX slip by. When I first set out to build Uniswap, the goal wasn't to reimagine finance. It was an experiment in radically decentralized, fully automated on-chain markets. I didn't know if it would work or if anyone would use it. Fast forward to today, the Uniswap protocol has processed over $2 trillion in volume. Many thousands of teams and developers have forked our code or built on top of it. We built entirely new financial infrastructure that is transparent, fair, secure, and accessible, powering an entire industry. The team at Uniswap did all of this in the US from our office in New York City. People often ask me why we stay in the US, and my answer is simple. I believe that blockchain is incredibly powerful technology, like the internet. It's here to stay, so someone needs to figure it out, and it might as well be us. And that when you build technology that improves people's lives, you don't need to hide. The SEC's mission is protecting investors, maintaining fair, orderly, and efficient markets, and facilitating capital formation. This is a noble mission. I would argue that Uniswap does a far better job of this today than the SEC. Yes, I'm frustrated that the SEC seems to be more concerned with protecting opaque systems than protecting consumers, and that we'll have to fight a US government agency to protect their company and our industry. This fight will take years, may go all the way to the Supreme Court, and the future of financial technology and our industry hangs in the balance. If we stand together, we can win. I think freedom is worth fighting for. I think DeFi is worth fighting for. And of course, we won't stop shipping. Stay tuned. Now, this was back in April of this year. Okay. Even today, we continue to see DeFi attacked. I put out a post regarding DeFi back in April. There's one even prior to this as well that I said, it's no question why we're seeing DeFi being attacked, but I said here, let it be known that the SEC is targeting self-custody and DeFi as a whole. It started with a well known as the Uniswap, then Uniswap, and now MetaMask is being targeted as well. Remember that the SEC also claimed Coinbase Wallet is an unregistered broker too, and that's a big focus here. Because you might be saying, well, Nick, how does the SEC and what they were doing back, in 2024, 2023, what do they have to do with the IRS? We're going to get to that here in a second. The focus here is the broker sort of stand that they've been pushing. Say what you will about ETH and it being targeted, but my main focus is on DeFi and self-custody. This is becoming a much bigger problem. Imagine if they started targeting cold storage wallet companies, which could still be in the plan. Open your eyes to how much damage the SEC is attempting to do to this industry. Now, we know for a fact that Operation Chokepoint 2.0 goes beyond the SEC. The FDIC, for an example, this was revealed back in the beginning of December, and we have breaking. FDIC letters reveal U.S. banks were told to pause crypto activities. We respectfully ask that you pause all crypto-related activity. Operation Chokepoint 2.0 is being exposed in real time, and it continues to be a big focus today, but the problem is that nothing is happening. It's not improving. We continue to see crypto being attacked. We have over here, this is from Paul Grewal from Coinbase. Slowly but surely, the picture is becoming clear. After we sued, the FDIC Gov finally started giving us information related to our FOIA request about the pause letters it sent to financial institutions as part of Operation Chokepoint 2.0. In short, the contents are a shameful example of a government agency trying to cut off financial access to law-abiding American companies. So far, we've uncovered more than 20 examples of the FDIC telling banks to pause or refrain from providing or not proceed with offering crypto banking services. The public deserves transparency, not an agency that's working behind a bureaucratic curtain. We don't have the full letters yet, but what we've seen so far speaks volumes. Take a look for yourself. In the meantime, we'll keep pushing to get clarity from our regulators through FOIA requests and any other means necessary. Now, if we fast forward to November as well, here we have at the end of November, Ripple CTO David Schwartz recently joined the list of tech founders speaking out against Operation Chokepoint 2.0, saying the government is addicted to indirect regulation. All of this is building up for this. Even over here from Sir Al-Radi, we have Operation Chokepoint 2.0, the origin story. This is the CLO of Ripple. In 2012, regulators, FDIC, OCC, and the Fed weaponized banks against disfavored industries, gun stores, payday lenders, etc. under the original Operation Chokepoint 2. Well, this is 1.0. We're now talking about 2.0. But fast forward to 2021, crypto is the new target. This is Operation Chokepoint 2.0. So this goes all the way back to 2021. We have January 2021, Biden's OCC kills fair access to banking rule. Then, November of 2021, the OCC demands pre-approved for banks' crypto activities. And this is under interpretive letter 1179. And then also, if we go to April of 2022, the FDIC follows suit. And then by January of 2023, the Fed, the FDIC, the OCC warned banks of crypto risk. Then February of 2023, another warning issued. By that time, we start seeing banks basically imploding. And this is forced implosions of these banks because they were pro-crypto banks. These warnings include the boilerplate. Banks are not discouraged from serving crypto customers. As a former bank GC, I could decode that. Don't even think about it. That's basically it. So these banks were basically bullied into not providing any banking to crypto-based companies. Zero crypto activities are able to be done by banks in the US. That's insane to me. That is absolutely insane. And then today, we get this. Just in, the IRS has finalized rules requiring brokers to report digital asset transactions, including activities on decentralized exchanges. This is insane. Starting in 2027, brokers must disclose gross proceeds from crypto sales and provide details about the taxpayers involved. So decentralized finance is now out of the picture. DeFi is now out of the picture. It's done. There is zero decentralization tied to crypto anymore. If this continues, this is a big problem. Johnny Deaton even did say, and he wrote to everyone tied to this new administration, the war against crypto continues. The President of the United States and Elizabeth Warren administration finalized its crypto broker tax reporting rule on Friday before New Year's. As expected, it's awful and un-American. The IRS regulation gross proceeds reporting by brokers that regularly provide services effectuating digital asset sales is an attack on DeFi protocols because it imposes broker-like reporting requirements on decentralized platforms that lack centralized control. In some, DeFi protocols are autonomous, permissionless smart contracts without intermediaries capable of collecting or reporting user information. This new regulation is akin to Senator Warren's banker's ban on Bitcoin bill, which served as a de facto ban on self-custody of Bitcoin because the requirements were impossible to comply with. Enforcing these kind of requirements on DeFi will stifle innovation and continue to drive developers and projects offshore. It will also kill DeFi in the US. Not globally, in the US. Remember, this is all about the US market. It's an outright attack on DeFi because it undermines the core principles of decentralization and user privacy that define the essence of DeFi. Make no mistake about it. This 11th hour attack is designed to undermine the next administration's pro-crypto agenda, along with stablecoin legislation and rolling back SAB 121, among other things. The new Congress should quickly reverse this 11th hour in American nonsense. And yes, listen, if we think about what's happening here, this is exactly why this admin and Elizabeth Warren are the biggest enemies of crypto. I mean, it's insane to me that this is still ongoing. We have endured 4 years of this nonsense. 4 years of blatant crypto attacks. I mean, how much damage has to be done to the retail sector in order for us to realize that, guess what? The enemy is not crypto. The enemy is those that continue to say that we are fighting frauds. We're fighting this, we're fighting that, even though they're cozied up against, the bad actors in the space. Go and look at FTX. Go look at Sam Bankman-Fried. Connections right back to all these politicians. Connections right back to Elizabeth Warren. I mean, these are this is the big issue in the US. We have these individuals like Elizabeth Warren and this entire admin for the last 4 years that have tried to say that they're we're the ones protecting you guys. We're the ones doing. It's just like the SEC. Gary Gensler saying that they're protecting investors while hurting retail investors along the way. I mean, this has been ongoing for years now. And if you're around this space, if you know the power of DeFi, if you know the power of this technology, this should completely make you outraged. The one thing that we can cling on to is that we hope that this new admin that's going to be coming into office next month shuts all of this down. Even over here we have from Senator Cynthia Lummis, this goes back to the 16th. The banking system that was built by us and for us is being used against us. Operation Chokepoint 2.0 is very real, and real Donald Trump will put a stop to it. We're hoping so. We're hoping that this happens.
What's going on here, and can it be changed? Well, just as there has been lawfare at the Justice Department, Operation Chokepoint 2.0 has been so much bigger than many of us knew. So I was so glad that Mark Andreessen got on Joe Rogan's program and blew it up. And then you had all kinds of people who've been debanked get on X and explain what debanking has done to their businesses. It could be a gun manufacturer, it could be a marijuana business, it could be an oil and gas producer, and it's definitely been crypto assets. They have illegally, and I mean this government, our government has illegally gone after an industry and tried to snuff it out through the regulatory state, through the bureaucracy. And this is something that I'm so pleased President Trump is going to stop. Just as Kash Patel will go into the FBI and do away with warfare, President Trump is putting people in place at the FDIC and Treasury and elsewhere in his government who can make sure this industry can flourish in the United States with transparency and consumer protection.
Yeah.
And we can only hope that this is the case, because I'm telling you guys right now, when I'm looking at this space, when I'm looking at this industry, if we continue to attack this space the way that we are right now, if we continue to shut down banking services for crypto in the US, I mean, listen, if you are building here, if you're anyone that is a developer in the US around crypto, you're looking at the motives that have happened in the last 4 years by this admin, and you're saying, why am I even doing business here? Why am I even building here? I mean, think about Uniswap. Uniswap is a perfect example of, years and years and years of not just, money and development going down the drain, but it's also time that you just can't get back. We have incredible tech, incredible applications, incredible, companies here around the crypto and blockchain space that have been thriving up until the point that this industry has quickly did a 180 and started targeting US-based companies that are trying to drive innovation. I mean, think about how many jobs could be created by this technology. I mean, it's just insane to me that this is still ongoing. It's insane to me that this is still happening in the US. And again, if you are in the US, even as an investor, this should make you completely outraged. What is happening here? The attack on DeFi as a whole, what the IRS is trying to do here, this is just absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, and this needs to be shut down. This needs to be completely shut down. This is just, it's insane to me. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.